All right, guys. Since we were talking about blade manipulation, and I had said the thing about reviewing playing sides with the blade, Andy and I just thought it'd be a good idea to do a really, really quick demo on kind of playing through that. So we're putting you, the video watcher, in the place of the opponents, kind of like a video game perspective. So you can basically see how this would play out. We won't really go full tilt with it, but it'll be kind of like, okay, if I'm here, what is he going to do? How can I adapt to that? We've kind of gone through this before, some of you, with kind of our tactical sessions during the year. But we're just kind of break it down real quick. And again, what you guys can do on your own is just stand in front of a mirror, look at where your blade is, look at what it opens up, imagine an opponent in front of you, stuff like that. But just to kind of give you a food for thought, we'll go through some iterations here, right? So the most simple one that you guys know about is you get on guard with someone, right? We cross here, right? Step back, ready, ready, fence, right? Everyone instantly picks a side, right? Like you just can't, it's unavoidable. No matter whether you're a lefty or righty, it's unavoidable for you to pick a side, right? We are crossing blades, right? We are sword fighting, we are crossing blades. You have to be on a side. I don't care if it's sideless down here, you have to pick somewhere. So this game is unavoidable, right? Unless I just put my foot behind my back and hope that Andy's not fast enough to catch me, we will be playing sides, okay? So just don't think that you can get away without playing sides in fencing, okay? So that means that I'm gonna go here. Right, I just went here, right? Now, this can mean, and Andy might not know for sure, this could mean that I want to be here, that this is like my spot, and I'm only comfortable here because I'm on my strong side, right? This is 4, and I'm trying to do this, right? And that's what I want to be the whole bout, and if I do this the whole bout, then I win. That might be true. I might just be here because I can, and I'll play it out, and it doesn't make a difference. But either way, let's say I'm here. Right, so we're fencing a little bit. Andy tests it out. He sees that I have a strong 4 pair, right? So he says, okay, I don't want him there. So what's he going to do? He's going to switch it around, right? Do a little counter parry motion, take the other side of the blade. Now, if I'm a fencer who absolutely has to be on that side of the blade, which is a habit that I don't want you guys to get into, is where you have to be on a side, then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the same thing, right? We're going to start circling each other, right? But what I've just done is I've become predictable. Because if Andy does that again, and I do this again, he can go into the hole that I've created by switching sides, or he can do something to my blade while it's moving, okay? So that's why it's always good to never have a favorite side, okay? But if I'm smart, if I'm just over here because I want to be, and he takes that side, then I can say, okay, you're over there, now I'm over here, I don't want you to be in control, so I'm going to take control back. So I can do a little bit of body manipulation where he feels like he has to attack, I get a pair of repos, right? But I can also do, I can drop down a little bit, right? Where if you can see his hand, right? I'm not in a full low guard position, but I'm below him, right? So now I've changed, now we're working on a diagonal rather than linear, right? You see that, right? If we're here, this is the game we're gonna play, right? That's straight across, that's horizontal, right? Horizontal plane. If I go here, assuming he stays linear and he doesn't get disengaged, the game we're going to play is here, right? So the lines that you pick with your opponent, right? It's like Andy is a circle, and there's an infinite number of points on the circle, right? And all those points can be connected into different angles, and I can choose any one of those angles, right? So same thing on this side. Let's go back to the beginning, right? Andy's here, and I'm here, and he wants... Again, he wants me on the inside, so he goes around, right? I can simply switch my hand position, right? I can put kind of an outward angle on my blade, right? Number one, because that might tempt him to beat it because he thinks my hand is in a weak position, or it takes away the 6 that he has, right? Because now we're playing this angle, right? Do you guys see that, right? If I'm here, still linear. If I'm here, if I curve slightly, if I change my guard slightly, now this is the game we're playing, right? I'm doing a 6 beat, but I'm doing a 6 beat down, right? So now that means that most likely what he's going to do from there is not attack 6. It means he's going to have to transfer here, right? There's going to be a disengage, right? Which means he changes lines, right? So I've made him change a line, right? So I'm still playing sides with him, okay? So let's go the other side, okay? So let's say I'm a fencer who has to be here, right? This is, of course, I'm still a lefty, right? So I could be here, right? I want to be here. So Andy could say he doesn't want me to be here. Same thing, he switches around, right? So I don't want that, so I drop down slightly. right? Now he can do something to take that away, right? He can try to get underneath that, right? So now he's gone underneath that, right? So now what do I do? Well, now I can do a couple different things. I can raise it, I can go to a full extension position, which means now he's threatened, right? And he has to bring it back up to protect himself, or, right, if we're down here, go ahead, I can come just above him, right? Because remember the rule that we talked about, guys, the closer our blades are together, the quicker I can respond to what he's doing. Right, you guys realize that, right? That's why a beat has so much of an advantage in fencing, right? Because if we're fencing and my beat only does that, that means that my attack is only this far away from his blade, which means he can bring it back as quick as you want, right? But if I do that, see how much further he had to come back, right? So if he drops and I go, haha, right? Unless I'm really prepared for that, right? That's just way too far away from him, right? He has this much, there's this much space between my protective implement and his sharp thing that's going to impale me in the stomach, right? Not good. So I want to say, no, I'm going to be right here. Right, you move, I got you. Right here, boom, you can't get away. Right, you twitch, you do anything. Right, boom, I got you. You come up top. Right, boom, I got it. Right, it's right there. Okay, so that's playing sides. Now what you'll see often, and this is the last thing we'll do, is that because of that principle, the blade staying close is good. You'll see a lot of people fight for low guard. We'll see low guard battles, right? Andy will drop into low guard. I don't like that, so I'll try to take his low guard away. He'll take my low guard away. I'll take his, right? It turns into the same thing, right? So, you know, throwing all tactics out the window, because there are tactics that you can use when someone's over top of you and trying to take your low guard away, like you can take their blade out, stuff like that. But if Andy is trying to take my low guard away, let's say Andy's in low guard, and I want to take his low guard away without turning into a low guard battle, right, where we just kind of circle until someone decides to attack, because that's inevitably what happens, right? All I have to do, and this is where body manipulation will come in a little bit, all I have to do is switch my stance a little bit to take away the advantage of his low guard, right? I can adapt my on guard slightly, bring it a little bit closer to his, get my body further away, slightly shift my weight, and now I'm in a position where I'm no longer exposed, but he is, right? I've got his big, honking, you know, target area to look at, right? I've protected mine, right? I'm good, I'm protected, right? I'm out of his distance. Right, but I can beat him in, I can feint, right, to bring him up out of low guard, right, and so, of course, you know, this game can go either way. It's not like he's dead because he's in low guard, right, he can be smart with low guard and switch sides or whatever, but that's the game that you guys are getting to playing, so you really have to be familiar with this. So, biggest two things to take away from this, because we just went through a lot of stuff that you would or would not think of, is do not have a favorite side. That's the most important thing. Do not have a favorite side, whether you're righty or lefty, because remember, if you're a righty, right, it's different because it's strong on strong, right, his strong side, right, against my strong side, right, not weak on strong, right, but I could still want to be here all bout long. I could still want to be here all bout long, right, it doesn't matter. If I have a favorite side, I become a hazard to myself. I become predictable, and he can manipulate that as easy as day and night, okay? So, big thing number one, do not have a favorite side. Experiment with it. If you have one right now, because you probably do, teach yourself to go to other places, even though you're going to get hit a lot, so that you don't have a favorite side anymore. Big thing number two is learn how to play those mind games. If someone switches on you, don't let it frazzle you. Right, if Andy takes a side away, I need to have an answer, like that, right? So even if you start playing games with people, right, you just get opposite someone one day and you go, okay, where nobody's going to hit, but I'm going to be here, and he's going to do something, and then I'm going to do something, and then he's going to do something back, and then I'm going to do something back, and then he's going to do something back, and then I'm going to do something back, right? Every single thing is different, and you just play out that game. Nobody attacks, nobody hits, but you just learn how to see the side, see the weakness, manipulate the weakness, protect yourself at all times. So that's the biggest thing. Don't have a favorite side, and learn to play the game of sides.